Good morning, everyone. I hope all are doing well. Well, welcome to another lesson and a video in which we try to help those developing essays. Well, that could be for a dissertation or an exam. And of course, in these days, we are talking, in particular, we're talking about the PhD entrance exams. Of course, for that, I wish you all the luck. Now, today's video, we continue our talk about the importance of a learning environment. Again, my name is Bukhash Baisham, a lecturer at Jalfa University. Now, last time we talked about this particular question. We said that the question was a targeted learning environment is one of the most essential elements that determines an efficient learning teaching process. Discuss the role of the learning environment in the light of the COVID-19 pandemic experience. As you can see that this question is indeed about a learning environment, yet still it emphasizes the importance of talking about the COVID-19 pandemic experience. Now, for that, I have introduced this particular introduction. I said traditionally the idea of formal education is often associated with the image of a classroom. However, the concept of a learning environment goes beyond the idea of a room with rows of desk and chalkboard to include diverse physical locations. So at least here I have given a kind of definition to the learning environment, context and cultures in which students learn. Now, research confirms that an engaging learning environment, here I am talking about the importance of a learning environment, is crucial in enhancing students' attention, promoting learning experiences, motivating, and boosting high level critical thinking. Still, and here's the part where I talk about COVID 19, which I'm going to dedicate also half of the introduction. With COVID 19, the practice of social distancing has significantly disrupted these important aspects in the learning process as practitioners avoid as much as possible in-person contact, favoring other means such as video conferencing and online classes. So this was the introduction I have proposed. Now, one of the questions that I have received that I saw a lot in the statement and the comments, sorry, is where is the thesis statement? Now, well, although I personally hardly think about it when I write, I don't say that I'm going to write a thesis statement because I believe, and it's the definition of a thesis statement. Sometimes this can be implicit and sometimes this can be explicit. Now, still in my introduction, I can say that this sentence here, research confirms that an engaging learning environment is crucial in enhancing students' attention, promoting learning experiences, motivating and boosting high-level critical thinking, can be considered here, I would call it a thesis statement. Now, of course, we should not forget. I mean, this is half of the question. Yes, indeed, I'm going to talk about learning, the importance of learning environment. Yet still, COVID-19 is should be also considered. So that is a thesis statement. But COVID-19, we should not forget it. That's also half of my introduction. But my topic today is more than that. So if my topic today is not, it is not just about thesis statement. We need to discuss the idea of logic or coherence in an essay you are going to write. You see, most of the time when students write an essay and he or she really thinks that he did so well, but for us as readers, when we read, it just gets confused. I mean, we don't feel any kind of logic in the writing. So in this respect, one has to know that in a coherent text, because this is what we talk about coherence, there are logical links between the words, sentences, and paragraphs of the text. So what we really look for in any text, we look for that link. We more specifically, we look for the flow of information. You see, a writer has to ensure that there is a kind of a logical sequencing of information and ideas. For the result will be what? A reader who can follow effortlessly the writer argument or line of thought. So when I read your work, I should develop this expect. So at least I should expect what you are going to write. So when I read your introduction, I can imagine, I can predict the paragraphs that I'm going to find in the development. Now, how can we do this simply? Let's look here. How can we do this? Is simply is one of the simplest trick I use is to construct a good introduction that comprises of clear ideas and I follow these ideas respectively when it comes to my development. Let's have a look here. So in my introduction, I wrote, for example, we said thesis statement. Research confirmed that engaging learning environment is crucial in doing what? In enhancing students' attention. That's the first one. Then number two, promoting learning experiences. Then motivating. Then boosting higher level critical thinking. This is what I said. So in my logic, or what I'm thinking about, is that I'm going to develop these ideas, and each, of course, in a paragraph or two. But in each idea, I'm going to in each paragraph, or maybe two, I'm going to dedicate it for one simple, for example, information. For example, in with students' attention, that's I'm going to start with because I have started it. We started in my thesis statement, I started with students' attention. I'm going to follow the same logic, the same sequencing I have written, that I have used in my introduction. I use it also in my development, remember, because sometimes you may say it's not something big, but trust me, it is. For example, if I started my development with another idea, let's say, for example, talking about critical thinking, but in my sentence I started with attention. So please start with that first, because you are respecting this logic, I mean, even helping the reader to understand. So I'm going to start with students' attention, and I'm thinking that I will talk about student attention. That's how learning environments can help with that. That will call maybe a positive learning environment. And I'm going to say how COVID-19 has affected that, either positively or negatively. So this is what I'm going to do. And let's demonstrate an example here. This is paragraph one. As you can see, I have written introduction in paragraph 1, student attention paragraph 2, promoting learning in paragraph 3, motivating another paragraph to the conclusion. So I am going to propose this paragraph for student attention. In regards to students' attention, at least this is, I'm going to start with the first one. A learning environment plays a vital role in allowing students to concentrate and focus on important information being given by teachers. This is the definition of attention. For instance, a well-structured, there's a mistake there, classroom comprising of simulating educational materials would likely to be considered more conducive to learning as it engages learners and keeps them attentive. So this at least what is going to happen in an environment. So in this respect, a positive learning environment also allows students to tune out unrelated information, background noise, virtual distraction, and even their own thoughts. All this I have taken from other websites. As I showed you last time, it's so easy to paraphrase, use different information, the different bit of information from different sources. Now here I inject the other idea, which is COVID-19 has made the implementation of virtual classroom a necessity. With the letter, there is an agreement that retaining attention in such classes is rather difficult. Of course, you can add more information, more detail as you wish. But my lesson today is how you can be logical in your writing. And remember this, you need to kind of reflect a logic. And this logic starts with you from the introduction, the way you write your introduction, and moves with you throughout the development. So we need to see this text as one unit. This is the idea of coherence in this text. If you can't do it, you will feel that there is a mess. And trust me, as readers, even consciously or unconsciously, we feel that. We develop this. Of course, when you are with a teacher, maybe who has a very strong idea about this, he's going or she's going to look for this in your essay. So this is my lecture today. I hope you benefit from it. Of course, I always welcome your comments and I will read them. And what can I say? Say good luck for you all and see you in another video.